This is episode 452 of Bella in Your Business. Good morning and welcome to another episode of Bella in Your Business. I must apologize. I'm feeling a little under the weather, and you're probably going to be able to hear that in my voice today, but the show must go on, as they say. Listen, this episode, as you've probably already seen from the title, is going to be about your mindset. I've been having a lot of conversations with clients about mindset and perception and just kind of switching things around and busting the 24/7 myth, which means you have to be on all the time. Let me remind you that one of the biggest reasons many of us got into entrepreneurship was completely so that we could control our time and money, right? And so from that, it doesn't mean that we have to be operating all the time. So you started this business for freedom, right? You wanted to make your own schedule. You didn't want to have to answer to a boss, spend your day. You wanted to spend your days with animals. Maybe even sneak an afternoon nap in there. And you're the boss now. Like, you should be able to do what you want when you want. But if we're really honest, is it what you got? Now, this is going to either appeal to your younger entrepreneurial self today, or it's going to appeal to you right now. If this is your younger self, I really encourage you to spread some love, light, and joy and encouragement by finding wherever this was posted and posting in the comments about how you got through it. Because this is a community and together we rise. Sometimes it kind of feels like we're in a golden cage. You're the one doing the overnight sits. You're the one answering calls after 9 p.m. You're the one rescheduling your life around last-minute client requests. Does it sound familiar? There's this toxic belief that I hear from pet business owners all the time. If I'm not there, it falls apart. And I want to lovingly call out your BS today. Because that's not freedom. It's survival. And you didn't build your business to survive. You built it so that you could live. So today we're totally busting the myth. We're breaking the lie that your business only works if you work yourself to the bone. We're going to talk about systems. We're going to talk about delegation. We're going to talk about building something that actually gives you your life back. Let's go. Let's start. Let's talk about systemizing your success. So let me say this loud and clear. You don't need to hustle more. And the whole world tells you have to hustle. What you need is more systems that don't involve you. You've already got a rhythm to your day. You're feeding, walking, grooming, managing books, sending reminders, handling payments on repeat. And guess what? Anything that repeats, it can be systemized. Start here by writing down everything you do in 1 week. And if that's too much, 1 day. But I do mean everything. Booking new clients, texting confirmations, walking dogs, following up on invoices, posting on social, all of it. Now ask yourself, can it be automated or delegated? And can it be turned into a system that someone else could follow? Because listen, every time you answer the same question twice, that's a system begging to be born. The tools you already should be using are online booking software. There's plenty of them out there. Automated text and email reminders, and like a customer management system or a task system like a Slack, Asana, Monday. There's so many of them. This is where freedom starts. You automate what doesn't require you, and you document the rest. And your SOPs, they're going to be your secret weapon. I am doing SOPs on probably 65 to 75% of my coaching calls right now, because SOPs were like the bane of everyone's existence. They didn't want to do them. They didn't know how to write it all down. They didn't know how to put it in technical language. You have absolutely no reason why your SOPs should not be done in 2025 with AI. None. You can get them all done in a couple of weeks at the very most. So I know it sounds boring, but SOPs are actually pretty sexy once you realize it's your ticket out of chaos. You can't do all these amazing things with AI unless you have an SOP. You cannot scale unless you have an SOP, and that's different than a training manual. An SOP is a written or recorded guide that says, hey, this is how we do things around here. It could be a Google Doc, a checklist, a Loom video. I prefer a Chat GPT. You could do how to onboard new clients. What if a dog eats something on a walk? How to close out a client at the end of the day. You get these in place, and suddenly your business isn't a mystery. Only you know how to make it run. It's a well-oiled machine that can run without you. Micromanaging becomes optional. Burnout becomes avoidable. And leadership, it becomes liberating. So delegation is not a dirty word. It's not giving up, it's leveling up. So think about this in your head, like repeat after me. I am not the only one who can do this. If you think that you are the only one that can do this, then your ego is in your way. Sorry, not sorry. So let's talk about how to build the team that makes that true. You don't need a carbon copy of you. You need someone who loves animals, someone who shows up on time, and someone who asks good questions and gives a damn. Skills can be taught. Character? Not so much. Stop waiting for perfect. Hire the right vibe and train the rest. And I want you to train like you want to replace yourself, because you do. Yeah, I said it. Train like you want to be replaced. That means creating a killer onboarding flow, giving people clear expectations, practicing scenarios before they happen. Use role play, use videos, use buddy shifts. And then the hardest part, let them shine. Okay? And it's okay if they outshine you. They should be doing a better job than you because you have 20 things on your plate and they only have one. When you don't let people take ownership, they'll never rise to the occasion. And guess who gets stuck doing everything? Yeah, you. Trust is a muscle that you gotta build. You don't hand off your entire business to someone in just one day. You do build trust with structure. And I can't tell you how many of my clients have all of a sudden felt so much more trust in the process because of the time, care, and consideration they put in the process. And then they actually get a barrage. I'll be posting it this week, actually. I have a testimony on this of people saying, like, let's say interview people saying, that was the best interview experience I've ever done. So when you have that structure, your nervousness and anxiousness of, oh my gosh, can I trust them, is going to diminish because you're literally on the same page. Your systems and SOP will create the safety net, and your training will be the bridge. And when you hand them the reins, watch them run. That's what we want them to do. I had clients who took their first vacation in years after putting this into a play. And now, a couple of years later, they take months off at a time. They work for 2 months, they take a month off. Like, this is real life. This can happen. If the voices in your head are telling you it can't happen, they're wrong. And that's why, sick and straining my voice, I am bringing this message to you today because it is that important. When my clients took off, they came back and their business hadn't imploded because they finally built something sustainable. And you can too. So here's the truth. Freedom doesn't come from doing it all. It comes from letting go of control with structure. It comes from trusting your systems, trusting your team, trusting yourself to lead, not micromanage. Your business should feed your freedom, not feast on your life. So here's what I want you to do next. 1, do a task audit. Like, write down everything that you're doing. Choose one thing to automate this week. That's number 2. Number 3 is to start documenting in the SOP. Don't overthink it, just start it. Or voice record it into ChatGPT and say, make this the SOP. And then step 4, if delegation scares you, then start small. Let someone else handle one client, one shift. Guys, the difference between being an entrepreneur or a sole proprietor doesn't have people working for them. A business is scalable, is typically sellable. If you are the only person working in your company, you are the technician and the manager. You have a job. And mostly, no one's going to buy a job when you want to get out of it. They want to buy a business. So if you're nodding your head thinking, damn, I need help with this, I got you. Just message me back, shoot me an email, bella@jumpconsulting.net. Grab a slot on my calendar. I just opened up even more slots because there's so many of you guys. jumpconsulting.net/20. That's 20. And we can talk on the phone. Hopefully I'll feel better by then. I'm not as scary as some of you think I am. Truly, I am so excited because I know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And I'm saying, walk to me. I've got you. The only thing I need you to do, and I got asked this question yesterday, there is not a personality type that makes a good CEO. It's your mindset, and it's who you surround yourself with. So, what are you going to do after hearing this today? Because now you know. Now you can't stick your head in the sand. Let me know. And if you're interested in last week, this is just like a little plug here. Last week, I launched a program. I did this training inside the mastermind where I taught them how to clone themselves in pictures and videos. Really easy. Really easy. And most of you guys actually already have this software if you have Google Workplace. I was having it at $97 until Sunday, which was 5 days ago, and then raising it to $197, but I've decided to extend it another week. So if you're interested in that, you're going to want to go to jumpconsulting.net/clone and take a look at it. And go look at my feed on Instagram where it says, can you tell this isn't me or tell that this is fake? And just look at my Instagram reels and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. How I took a picture of myself in those clothes and it replicated me in those clothes. It was absolutely amazing. All right. When life gets you down, always keep jumping. And I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Next week, we're going to give you another burst of our podcasts. Have a great day.